Hi, it's Shantae here. I'm here with my analysis today on 7/9/20. It's a Thursday, so happy Thursday for those who are drinking. Um, in college, we used to say it's Thirsty Thursday, but for some folks, they don't get thirsty no more. I know I'm one of them that don't really drink. I drink when it's necessary, but when I do, I like to have my drink. Hey T, what's up? I'm here with this stuff today. So of course I'm gonna come to you with the coronavirus. According to the John Hopkins website, you could go on there. I think they're a school in Baltimore, Baltimore, Maryland. They like the medical school. So globally we are at 12,232,211 cases. Here globally, just globally. In the United States, we account for a fourth of the cases. So in the U.S., we are at 3,115,345 cases of COVID-19. And it went up by a million by 1 month. So that's where we are. In terms of Brazil. Okay, T. Thank you. Brazil has 1,755,799 cases of COVID-19. It's okay, T. It's always good to have a little laugh, especially when we are quarantined at home. Some people have no job, like me, still looking. And I gotta make myself laugh. And I'm home. I haven't seen my family. So, yeah. And Brazil's president just was tested for COVID-19. That's what I meant to say. India is at 700,667 cases of COVID-19. Russia's at 706. Was not I was about to say Bermuda. No, Peru is at 316,000. Chile is at 302,000. I love Kim too. And by the way, Kim was in the hospital, so I'll tell you about that. Was in the hospital, but she's home now. But I'll tell you about that. And the UK, they're seeing 289,000. So that's a lot. African countries. Nigeria. Well, South Africa does have the most. I think they have like about over 150,000. But I just took some that I know because there's a lot of countries in Africa. Oh, so Nigeria is seeing 30,000 cases, about almost 31,000. Ghana has 23,000 cases. Cameroon has about almost 15,000 cases. Kenya almost have 9,000 cases. They're at 8,975. Senegal has 7,784. Now in the Latin country, Panama has 42,216. Dominican Republic has 40,790. Honduras has 25,970. Guatemala has 26,658. El Salvador has 8,844. That's a lot. Haiti has over 6,000, almost 6,500 cases. Jamaica has 753. Guyana has 286. Trinidad and Tobago has 133. Bahamas went up by 3 cases, so they have 107. Barbados have 98. Antigua has at 73. They went up by 3 cases. St. Vincent 29. Belize 30. Grenada 23, still remaining at 23. St. Lucia still remaining at 22, and Dominica still remaining at 18. Now here in the U.S., New York still has the highest cases at 404, 207, but the death rate still in the 30s, 31,000. California has 303 cases, 303 and 448. So yesterday, I think I have the yesterday's numbers. Do I have the yesterday's numbers? Yesterday, California was at 296,000. So they went about 5,000, like about 5,000. Texas has 238 cases and 614. A death rate is at 3,000. And I meant to say California's death rate is at almost 7,000, sitting 6,000 still. So from Texas, they went up about 10 cases, 10,000 cases. Damn. Florida, they have 232,710. Yesterday, they had 223 cases, 23,000 cases of COVID. So the fact that Florida went up by almost, 10,000 cases, their death toll is sitting at 4,000. New Jersey has 176,217. They went up about like a few hundred cases, not much. Their curve is actually flattening like New York cases are flattening. And Texas, Florida, and California have surpassed New Jersey. And I won't be surprised that California, because it has 40 million people, will surpass New York, which New York State has 19 million, which about nearly 10 million live in New York City. Arizona has 112,716. Yesterday was at 108,646. So they went up about like 4,000 cases. Georgia has 98,693. They went about 2,000 at 96,538. Their death rate is sitting at almost 3,000, which Arizona went up in the two. They about like at 2,000. I put North Carolina on this list because North Carolina is the one with the highest infection rates, and their hospitalization rates is crazy. Like they're at 79,648 versus yesterday it was at 77,735. By county, Los Angeles has the most cases out of all the counties in the United States, sitting at 23,256. That's a lot. While Cook County is right behind them in Chicago at 23,596. Maricopa, Arizona is at 70,128. And Queens is sitting at 65,000. So, COVID-19 is real. Well, of course, Donald Trump doesn't see it that way. We still have no federal mass testing. It's now federal mass testing. Each state is doing their own set of testing. I know here in New York State, we're doing the most tests. The most tests. We had to go out like 70,000 people recover, but there's still people feeling these recoveries. One doctor said just because you recover from COVID, you still have some of them illnesses. Like you're still on dialysis, you still got breathing problems, it's a lot of problems. That's why they ask you to wear your mask. And the fact is that Trump is not telling people to wear their masks, and the fact that some states are not telling people to wear their masks. Like today, Kentucky has signed an executive order. The governor said you gotta wear your mask. Like people still not wearing their mask. Like what the hell is wrong with people? We're 4 months into COVID-19 being a national emergency here in the USA, being a global pandemic, and people start not wearing their mask. I'm at loss of words. Like California, Florida, Texas, and Arizona. California, Texas, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina are seeing rising rates. I'm surprised that California is seeing all these numbers, but eventually it was going to, like my friend said, it was going to get hot and people were starting to go to the beach and crowd in the beach. That's what happens. And Los Angeles and California is the biggest state. They have the 5th largest economy, but they're the biggest state in the United States. They have the most of every land and everything. So of course they're going to see a rising case. Like I said, I won't be surprised that they surpass this within a couple of weeks in New York. Because we did our reopening and lowering our capacity rates and not grouping together. Some corporations, some companies, some organizations decide that they will keep their people in. They'll put somebody in the office like once a week or twice a week, but it's rare. A lot of people are keeping their people home. So people move out of their offices to work fully from home because they feel safe. And some of them have kids. And some just don't feel comfortable because of the scares of COVID-19 and the fact that the elevator alone, anything that's airborne will contract COVID. That's why they ask you to wear your mask. And even that, you have to socially distance. And being at the office, you can slightly socially distance, but you can't really socially distance. You can't even eat in the lunchroom. You got to eat outside. So he was like, I might as well just work for the comfort of my home. Because trust me, if I could find a job that I can work from home, that would be great. Especially the skill set I have. If I was still working, I would be working from home. But I'm praying that I will get my job. Because I know I am. But to move on to the politics of stuff. So the Supreme Court had a ruling today. Where is that at? Job numbers. I'm so sorry. Before I move on to the politics of things, job numbers. So according to the CNN Business, 1.3 people filed for unemployment the first time. Yes, it's still low, but people still need assistance. And even though, like I said, jobs are coming back, people are still in need for the assistance. Over 1 million people in 49 states claimed first-time pandemic unemployment assistance, which is last week, which is about 42 million up. This program actually ends at the end of 2020. So after 2020, they're not going to renew it again. But we don't know how long we're going to be in this pandemic. The way the administration is moving, the way Congress is moving, we don't know how long we're going to be in this thing. Dr. Fauci said we may see 100,000 cases per day, depending on the activity, and people need to start doing more mitigation, which a lot of states have relaxed on their social distancing measures. Some states have to reclose their states, pause on their reopening, because of the rising infection rates in their states, especially in the South and in the West. While the Northeast, who has been closed for like 2 to 3 months, just started reopening things, but not in full capacity, within half or a third or even a fourth capacity. Like here in New York, we're opening at 50% capacity. We cancel mostly all our parades, especially in the city. I know the Caribbeans are mad, but they be all right. They be fine. They be okay. So that's what's happening. Economist said here today, a full recovery in the labor market is going to be a multi-year process, and we think that the resurgence in COVID-19 infection rises the risk that there will be a pause in the progress, which is true because California just did a pause on every opening. I believe Oregon, I think, Utah, and there's another state that did a pause on their reopening because of the rising infection rates in COVID-19, because most of these states were so quick to reopen because of their constituents, not realizing that you don't reopen in full capacity. You reopen at half, the most, but really I recommend a third or a fourth, like 33% or 25%, because you have to reopen. You have to go by your metrics and your science and your health experts, and that's something that people could get on Cuomo about. You didn't like him then, whatever his policies, but when it comes to natural disasters, even from Hurricane Sandy, he always took care of business. And here he's taking care of business. And you know what? Hats off to him. He's doing a good job. Hats off to you, Governor. Hats off to you. But now let's get into the politics and stuff. So there's been 3 Supreme Court rulings. One is on Trump's tax returns. A 7-2 decision to grant the lower courts here in New York to pursue Trump's financial records, which only 2 justices has dissented, and that's, of course, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Antonia. Now, who sided with the majority? Shockingly, well, Chief Justice is like swaying which way, but he's still, But whoever thought that Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, out of all people, will side with the liberals? The court did put a hold on, however, on the congressional subpoena, suggesting that is a quote-unquote overreach in the part of lawmakers. The Congress can still do what they do daily, and still can pursue Trump. I mean, they did it before during impeachment. They still passed stuff. It just, when it went to the Senate, guess which desk is sitting on? The Senate Majority Leader, which is Mitch McConnell. I mean, I'm not surprised. Are you? If you follow politics, are you surprised? Because I'm not. I'm just not. But with the Trump appointees joining the liberals and Chief Justice Roberts, Brett Kavanaugh wrote, but also unanimously agrees that this case should be remanded to the district court, where the president may raise constitutional and legal objections to the subpoena as appropriate. But he still sided with the liberals. Saying that no one should be held, no one's above the law. He said he can dispute it, but doesn't mean that the lower courts can ask for it. Because that's what I got from this. He may raise constitutional and legal objections to the subpoena as appropriate, but doesn't mean that the lower courts can ask for it, because the lower courts are asking for it. And the DA, the Manhattan DA, which they granted it to, which is Cy Vance Jr., said this been on pause for a year. So, I mean, Trump is not going to have a good day. And if this goes to the AG, Trump is in trouble. Kids already being investigated by Trump organization, like by the nonprofit. So it's like, I mean, and this investigation, because of these tax returns, is also due to the payouts to Stormy Daniels. So, I mean, it's not a good day for Trump. And of course, he went off as saying this is constitutional harassment. This all these erratic goddamn tweets, and Joe Biden got dementia. Look at the one who's had some signs of not just dementia, but also Alzheimer's. Also, with the tribal decision, according to CNN Politics, the broad swath of Oklahoma is a Native American land for purpose of federal crime land. I'm going to tell you what that means. This unique case represented the opportunity for the Supreme Court to weigh in on the limits of tribal sovereignty and revisit the country's horrific history of displacing Native American tribes from their land. This goes way back to the 7th president. And guess who the 7th president was? He's on that $20 bill. It's Andrew Jackson. The one that Trump praises. And will have a picture on his wall. He doesn't mind. Because he was a racist. This case historically is the origin of what Jackson's administration did by pushing the Indians from North Georgia and other parts of the Appalachians and promised land in the West. But years later, there was a genocide of the Native Americans. The Supreme Court's decision, however, was a 5-4 decision, which Gorsuch sided with the liberals. Oh, Trump is not happy with Neil Gorsuch. I mean, you had the LGBT ruling that they cannot be discriminated in the workplace. This ruling here with the tax returns. And now this. Oh, Trump's not happy. He's not happy at all. But I guess this is halfway makeup from yesterday's ruling with the birth control. Because Supreme Court, the next time they be in session is like in September. So in Gorsuch's opening statement, though, on the fair end of the Trail of Tears was a promise, ... Forced to leave their ancestral land in Georgia and Alabama, the Creek Nation received assurance that that they will need land in the West and would be secured forever. So, as this moment of racial reckoning, Indians deserve that and reparations, along with African Americans. We do. We deserve our reparations. And I can say even some of the Latino Americans deserve some kind of financial thing. Especially the ones that live in Puerto Rico. They do. They deserve to be a full state, like D.C. and the Virgin Islands. So there's more work to be done. This is just the beginning. Hopefully this is progress. I hope it's progress. But Trump is not happy with Neil Gorsuch, I'm assuming. And you know what? I won't be surprised. You appointed him. You nominated him. And now you're mad at the Federalist Society? Just like the legislative branch, just like the executive branch, judicial branch is an independent branch. All branches are independent. They act independently. The executive branch don't have control over the legislative body nor the judicial body. I guess Trump really missed that part of history, but like I said, he was always dumb. He was dumb before he entered the race twice. He was always dumb. What's new? Next. Antaleo and Thomas. They're the most partisan hacks ever. Especially Clarence Thomas. It's been on he's been on the Supreme Court for almost 30 years. If he's going to retire, because there's a word that he's going to retire, I think he should retire after the election. So Biden can put his Supreme Court nominee on the bench. Who you think that will be? I think it will be Loretta Lynch. Do you? We'll see. We'll see. But in terms of that damn White House briefing, so Kayleigh McEnany started off with Donald Trump as a champion for racial economic disparities, educational, blah, blah, blah. Still going about the whole school opening shit. So she was asked about the whole Supreme Court ruling, and she said the justices are entitled to their own opinion, and it claims that it was a win for Trump because she quoted the Kavanaugh quote that I quoted, but doesn't mean, as I said, that the district court can ask for that shit. And he can dispute it, but they're going to ask for that shit. And it's up to the court justices. Some going to be like, he should put it out because it started out with Jimmy Carter, and even some Republicans put their shit out there. So, I mean, hey, my opinion. But yeah, she basically lied throughout this whole entire thing. She was also asked, is Trump taxes is still under audit after 4 years? And she's like, yes, Trump's taxes are still under audit, but she don't have the many years. So then she was asked about why is he hiding his taxes. She said, Trump still under audit, his taxes still under audit, and the justices did not rule against him, which they did. They sided with the liberals. They sided with the Chief Justice, who's a conservative. So, you got it. Also, Caitlin Collins pressed her about the whole school reopening, and then she said she's not providing any plans to reopen schools. All this stuff, like, Kayleigh McEnany's a liar. She's a liar. Today she said something about the Supreme Court ruling. I think I have it here also. Another thing that she said, it's a political, what he said, Trump is a political, is a victim of political prosecution. No, he's not. Trump shit about to get called out, and it's almost starting, and he's at fault for this. This is his own fault. So I don't even know why I don't understand. But just to end this live, the Black Lives Matter sign was painted in front of Trump Towers today, which is down the block from my house, along with Reverend Al Sharpton, I think one of the exonerated 5 who did it. So Trump said something on Fox News. I think I got it. I got it on my paper. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So Trump went on Fox and basically said he was good to de Blasio. He was good to Cuomo. And he said getting ventilators and blah, 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 blah. He said the fact that Black life matters. Like, why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying it like that? That's because your ass is racist and always been racist. But I will be going down the block. If not tomorrow, due to the rain, or Saturday, I will go down there and I will look at that Black Lives Matter sign. I will look at that shit. I will take pictures. I will send it to my mom, send it to my sister, send it to my dad. I'm going to take a picture of it. And it's supposed to be nice and warm on Saturday. I think I'm going to take a nice stroll down 5th Avenue because I want to go shopping. I walk back and forth downtown because I live on the Upper West Side. So I will be taking a trip. But I'm going to end this and say, this is why I should vote. Vote like it matters. Try to stay sane. Try to stay safe during this, this pandemic. And also moment of racial reckoning. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And be safe. Have a good night. Goodbye.